Superman vs. Supergirl. It's a debate that has raged across comic book shops and internet forums for decades. Two Kryptonians, cousins, both powered by Earth's yellow sun. On the surface, they seem evenly matched. But when you really dig into their histories, their powers, and their personalities, a clearer picture begins to emerge. So today, we're settling it once and for all. Who would truly win in an all-out fight? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about raw power. Both Clark and Kara draw their incredible abilities from the same source, solar radiation. This gives them the classic Kryptonian power set: super strength, speed, flight, invulnerability, heat vision, freeze breath, and super senses. For a long time, the standard answer was that Superman is simply stronger because he is a fully grown male Kryptonian who has been absorbing solar energy for his entire life, far longer than Kara. He landed on Earth as a baby, while Kara arrived as a teenager. This solar battery theory suggests Clark has a much deeper reserve of power to draw from. And for much of their comic book history, this has been the case. Superman has consistently been portrayed as the pinnacle of power in the DC universe. His feats are legendary: moving planets, surviving supernovas, and punching reality itself back into shape. He is the benchmark against which all other heroes are measured. In most direct, head-to-head confrontations in the comics, Superman has had the upper hand, often holding back but still demonstrating a clear advantage in strength and durability. But that's not the whole story. The solar battery argument has been challenged over the years. Some writers have proposed that Kara, having spent her formative years on Krypton under a red sun, might actually process yellow sun radiation more efficiently. Think of it like this: Clark's body has grown accustomed to this energy from birth, but Kara's cells experienced a sudden, massive influx of power. This could mean she has a higher potential ceiling for power, even if she hasn't reached it yet. In some storylines, like in the New 52 era, it was explicitly stated that Supergirl was, pound for pound, stronger and faster than her cousin, even if she lacked his control. This brings us to our second key point: experience and control. This is where Superman has a massive, undeniable advantage. Clark Kent has spent decades mastering his abilities. He knows their limits, he knows how to use them with surgical precision, and he has a level of control that Kara has always struggled with. He can phase through attacks, use his heat vision to perform delicate surgery, or calibrate the force of his punches to simply disarm an opponent without causing serious harm. He's a seasoned veteran who has fought every conceivable threat, from street-level thugs to cosmic gods. His tactical mind is one of his greatest assets. Kara, on the other hand, is often portrayed as being more impulsive and emotionally driven. Her powers are a raw, untamed force of nature. This can be a huge advantage, making her unpredictable and ferocious. When she cuts loose, her power can be terrifying. But it's also a weakness. An opponent as experienced as Superman can exploit this. He can anticipate her moves, bait her into making mistakes, and use her own momentum against her. He knows how to weather the storm and wait for an opening. His mental fortitude and discipline are light years ahead of hers. Now let's consider their fighting styles. Superman was trained by Batman in hand-to-hand combat and has honed his skills against countless master martial artists across the galaxy. He fights smart, not just hard. He's a strategist. Supergirl's training has been more inconsistent. While she has been trained by figures like Wonder Woman and even Batman at times, her primary fighting style is often a straightforward, overwhelming blitz. It's incredibly effective against most opponents, but against someone who can match her physically and outthink her strategically, it becomes less so. However, there's a crucial factor we can't ignore: the willingness to win. Superman's greatest strength is also his greatest vulnerability in a fight like this: his compassion. Clark always holds back. It's fundamental to his character. He would be absolutely horrified at the thought of truly hurting his cousin. He would exhaust every possible option before resorting to full force. His goal would be to contain her, to calm her down, not to defeat her. Kara, depending on the circumstances of the fight, might not have the same reservations. She has a temper and has been shown to be far more ruthless when pushed. If she's been mind-controlled or is fighting for something she believes in with absolute conviction, she might be the one willing to go to lengths that Clark simply won't. In a battle between two godlike beings, the one who is willing to cross the line first often has the advantage. A Supergirl fighting with no restraint is a terrifying prospect, even for Superman. Let's look at some specific comic book encounters. In the Superman-Batman storyline, the Supergirl from Krypton, a newly arrived and disoriented Kara, is manipulated by Darkseid. She attacks Superman, and the fight is brutal. Superman is clearly holding back, trying to reason with her while she is going all out. He eventually wins by using a combination of his experience and a clever tactic involving the Batjet, but it was a serious struggle. He admits that she's fast and powerful, and that he was lucky. Then you have scenarios where their roles are reversed. In stories like Injustice, where Superman becomes a tyrant, a righteous Supergirl fighting against him would have the moral high ground and potentially the support of other heroes. In these situations, the context of the fight is everything. So, let's bring it all together for the final verdict. If we're talking about a standard, in-character fight in a neutral setting, where both are in their right minds, Superman wins. His vast experience, superior tactical mind, and refined control over his powers give him a decisive edge. He would be able to neutralize Kara without causing her permanent harm. It wouldn't be easy, but his discipline would see him through. He would weather her initial assault and then systematically disable her. But if we change the conditions, let's say it's a bloodlusted fight, no holding back, to the absolute finish. This is where things get incredibly interesting. In this scenario, Kara's raw and tamed power and potential for greater solar absorption might just give her the edge. A Superman who isn't holding back is a universe-ending threat, but a Supergirl who has thrown away all restraint is equally terrifying, and perhaps more so due to her unpredictability. In a pure contest of unrestrained power, it could be a toss-up, and might even lean slightly in Kara's favor if her potential for power truly exceeds his. She would be a raging inferno, while he would be a controlled, focused beam. Sometimes, the inferno wins. Ultimately, the winner depends on the writer and the story they want to tell. But based on the most consistent portrayals across their long histories, the smart money is on the Man of Steel. His combination of power, experience, and sheer force of will is what makes him Superman. He is the original, the icon, and in most believable scenarios, he remains the most powerful Kryptonian of them all. But he should never, ever underestimate his cousin. Because on her best day, Supergirl could surprise everyone. What do you guys think? Did I get it right? Who do you think would win and why? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your take on it. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more nerdy deep dives. See you in the next one.